Okay, welcome everyone. Tonight, shiur, I'm going to tell you right now the lesson, what it is. And that is, we're going to learn what is the secret to success. Now, if you follow this, you could apply it with anything in your life. Again, what is the secret to success? If you want a successful marriage, if you want a successful business, if you want a successful learning, if you want a successful friendship, if you want a successful, whatever you want a success in, this is it. This is it. Whatever you want success in. If you follow this, you will be matzliach. Of course, I have to put it, what is it, like the fine print, like the fine print on the bottom, like the star fine print, the bottom, it's always copyright. I have to add this in. And that is, of course, you need siyata dishmaya. That is no questions asked. Like you could do this all you want, but at the end of the day, everybody understands you will get the siyata dishmaya. And I'm going to prove tonight how you will get the siyata dishmaya. But without siyata dishmaya, we know that the Gemara says, how do you become wealthy? The Gemara gives, you work hard, honest in business. The Gemara says a lot of people did it, we don't see. Oh, don't forget to pray. How do you have baby boys? Oh, do this, you have baby boys. Oh, what about baby boys? Yeah, don't forget to pray. You have to ask the one who has the boys. You understand? You have to ask the one. So this, you need, what do you call it? It's called, I always say, vitamin SD. What's vitamin SD? Vitamin siyata dishmaya. That is the ABCs. You just know that. You can't even lift your finger without siyata dishmaya. You can't even lift. Don't think, you wake up in the morning, you're seeing, you're moving this, that. Why do you make a new beracha every single morning? Every single morning, you make a beracha. Matir asurim, pokeh ha'ivrim. You do all these different types of berachot. Why is that? Jack, what's the pshat, Jack? Why? The answer is, Hashem's giving you another... No, don't take it for granted. Don't say, I saw yesterday, so I'm going to see today. How do you know? There was a guy, he came to me, he told me that his retina got disconnected. He couldn't see. Regular guy, the guy is maybe 18, 19 years old. What happened? One day he was seeing perfect, the next day what happened? Don't think that. And therefore in the morning, when you get back to life, don't take it for granted. What are you supposed to do? I got siyata dishmaya, Baruch Hashem, pokeh ha'ivrim, say the berachot, and therefore everything you need is siyata dishmaya. Now, what is the success that you need to put, the ingredient that you need to put for this siyata dishmaya? And that is as follows. Listen carefully what I'm about to tell you. What I'm about to tell you is a pasuk. And this is the pasuk, and I'd like to read it to you. Pasuk says that Eddie, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Eddie. Listen, smart. Welcome, Albert. I'll read you this pasuk. It's a very important pasuk. And that is Vayikra Moshe el Betzalel. This is it. I'm quoting to you a Ramban. Pasuk says, Vayikra Moshe el Betzalel ve'Elohiav ve'el kol ish chacham lev asher natan Adonai chokhmah belibo. That God gave him kol asher nesa'ol libo lekorva el melacha l'sotah. They're building the Mishkan. They're building. How do you build it? Who's going to build it? Who's going to build everything? The people, right? They're going to go and they're going to get involved to build it. Let me ask you something. Did they have school back in the day, builder school? No, seriously. Construction. They had construction school? Did they have construction school? They're building a whole Mishkan. Hey, do this, put that, do this, do that. They didn't go to school for that. How are they going to know? And whoever wants, come and build. Yalla, who wants to come? Who wants to join us? Imagine right now you want to come and join. You never picked up a nail in your life. You're in Egypt for how many years? You're coming out of Egypt. How are you building the Mishkan? How are you building? Rabbi Jamal, you hear what I'm saying or no? Tell me, could you answer me? The question? I'd love to hear it. I'm going to tell you what the Ramban answers. But isn't it an interesting question? What does it say over here? The Pasuk says they came, they built the Mishkan. Who's building the Mishkan? Did they go to construction school? Yes or no? So how do they know how to put two and two together? They built Pitom and Ramses. They built Pitom. I hear you. You're saying good. They built Pitom and Ramses in Egypt. How did they do that? Must be they had something. I'll answer you on that situation. That is much different because why? Over here, you're building a structure, which is the Mishkan, where you're bringing down the Shekhinah. That already, you need a lot of, a lot of awareness, not even a little bit off. And it's a good point what you said. But I'd like to quote you the Ramban now. You ready? The Ramban says in Shemot, this is, right? Lamed Hey. Pasuk of Aleph. Listen to what he says. Listen to what he says, Ramban. Vayavo kol ish asher nesa'o libo. Listen to what he says. Al ha'chachamim ha'osim ha'melacha asher nesa'o libo lekorva el ha'melacha ki lo haya bahem shelamad et ha'melachot ha'ele memelamed. Nobody taught them how to build. The Ramban is saying this. Again, I want to quote to you. Ki lo haya bahem shelamad et ha'melachot ha'ele me'melamed. Nobody was able to teach them this. Or mishaymen baheni adav klal. Nobody was expert in building the Mishkan. Nobody. The Ramban is telling you, nobody. Nobody was there to teach them, and nobody there was expert in it. So how did they build it? Aval matzah betiv'o sheyeda lasot ken. You found in your heart that you want it. You found in your heart, inside Yeteva, sheyada lasot ken. I have a desire to do it. Vayig balibo bedarkei Hashem, he writes. Then you have that. Lavo lifnei Moshe lemor ani e'aseh kol asher adoni dover. I'll do everything you say. How do you know? The answer is when you have a ratzon, when you have a desire, when you have a will, you will know. And now to this, I want to give you examples to it. Again, what's the secret? I'm telling you the secret. The secret is when you want to face a challenge and you want to accomplish something in your life, you higher the volume of will and you'll see how much greater you will be able to accomplish what you want. And to this, I want to give you a few examples. First example, I'll take an example that happened in the shul. The first week we moved to the shul, we moved from where we were to a new neighborhood. We came in East 13th Street, we were on East 7th Street, and there was a fellow that walked in every day before Shaharit, every single day. It was like Kok V'lo Yavod. He addicted smoker. Addicted. We're talking about a guy, older guy, addicted. I'm talking about addicted. We before shul, after shul, in the middle, didn't make a difference. No, it wasn't in the middle, but it was really before and after. And every day I was like, wow, you really that? Like you really? And it was a thing, like every day I was like, how am I going to get this guy to stop? I'm going to get this guy to stop. He's going to stop. Anyway, one day on his own, the guy stopped. The whole minyan was flipping out. Like, what happened? Oh, we don't understand. What happened? We found out what happened. The doctors told him, you're this close, heaven forbid, to having lung cancer. You continue with it, that's it, it's over for you. You're going to have that lung cancer. All of a sudden, he stopped. You know how hard it is to stop when you're smoking almost 60 years of your life from wherever you are, the age of who knows what? 60-year-old man to stop an addiction that is smoking packs, not one pack, 3 packs a day like this? How? You know what the answer is? The will to stay alive is greater than the will of nicotine. The will of staying alive was greater than the cigarette. If that's the case, I'm done. I don't need it. It's nothing. How? The will is greater. Do you understand what we're saying over here? I hope you understand what he's saying over here. You know, I remember in school, when we was in school, there was a troublemaker. It was a senior year. We were seniors. And this guy was a troublemaker, and I remember him every other day. So-and-so come to the office. So-and-so, one time, they even had an announcement in the school. We know, so-and-so, we know you're in the building. Come to the office now. It was like, what? And finally, this guy, within 6 months to graduating, he changed like a new man. And people were asking, like, what happened? You were the guy. Now you're quiet, you're this, you're that. So I'll tell you what happened. They had a meeting with me, the board members of the school. It was a very big school. They had a meeting with me and a few teachers. And they were deciding on me to be expelled, getting kicked out of the school. And I had a decision really what to make. And he told me that he went to speak to one of the workers, social workers over there, I don't know who it was, like a counselor advisor or something like that. whatever it was. And social workout, and the person told this boy, the senior, says, look, you were in the school from elementary to the high school. You have 6 months to graduate with a diploma or get expelled. It's up to you, you can choose. But the school gave you one last warning. If you mess up, not maybe, for sure, you're kicked out. You mess up one time, you're kicked out. He had a perfect record because this social worker told him, do it only 6 months, that's it, 6 months. 6 months, you're done. 6 months, that's it, 6 months. He said that gave him so much, because 6 months I could be a good boy. He did it. He did a great job. And he got a diploma, he graduated, and now Baruch Hashem, he's a very successful man. No, he's a very successful man. He's one of my good friends. And I want to tell you something. Because the will of staying in school is greater than the will of getting kicked out. That's the bottom line. I'll tell you another one. There's a very famous rabbi, Rosh Yeshiva, that came into the yeshiva. Why? He was a wealthy man, and he said, I want to give my money to a guy who's in yeshiva, and he's willing to sit and learn. I'll support, full support. Right? Jack, you want Vidak? We have. Full support. Yeah, very full support. Are you married? So it says full support. Yeah, Leo, smart. So he's walking into the yeshiva. He says, but on one condition. Albert, he tells him, listen, I want the best yeshiva boy in the entire yeshiva. He tells the Rosh Yeshiva, of course, he's going to give him, he's a supporter of the yeshiva, and now he's coming to Rosh Yeshiva as a favor. Listen, Baruch Hashem, we're supporting a yeshiva. If you can do me a favor, my daughter's getting married, and we want to find him the best yeshiva guy in the entire school yeshiva. Which one? And he points to one yeshiva bacher. He says, this is the guy. This is him. So the person that's ready to support his daughter for life, ready full support, meaning a house, you have a car, you have expenses paid off, you have it full. You can learn. So he's looking at us. He says to him, to Shiva, with all the respect, why'd you pick this boy? Is he the smartest? Is he like the wise person? No. Okay. Is he? And he keeps on going the list of why should he be? Is he the biggest this? Is he the biggest that? Is he very big in depth? Is he big in Bikut? Is he good in Midot? Like what makes him qualified as the best? You'll never believe it. The Rosh Yeshiva said, because this boy has it at son to make it so badly that no matter what obstacle you put in front of him, he's gonna knock. He's gonna make sure he's gonna pass. Why? Because his will to grow in Torah and mitzvot is so great that no matter what is going to be in front of him, he's going to overcome that. Why? Again, his ratzon is greater than anything else. You know, should I prove it to you, by the way? Should I prove it? You know what it says? What does Chazal teach us? We have to say, Ad matai yagiu ma'asai le'ma'aseh avotai. What does that mean? You have to say, when is my deeds going to reach the deeds of Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov? You prepare Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov? You're looking at it, look, compare me to the rabbi just above me, like one generation above me. When am I going to be like this rabbi? You going to Abraham? You know how great Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov is? You kidding me? We say it in the Amidah when we're praying to Hashem, we're saying, Elokei Abraham, Elokei Isaac. Imagine they say, Elokei Yosef, Elokei Lior. What? You want me to get Elokei, right? Elokei Eddie. Yeah, kidding me? But that's what the rabbis want me to get to? Why? How? When you have a ratzon and you have a will, don't tell me you cannot. You can. You can. You know, they ask in Shamayim, you know the famous Gemara, they ask in Shamayim, they say, the guy, there's no excuses in Shamayim. There's no excuses, right away. Right? Oh, they tell the guy, why didn't you learn? Oh, the guy says, I didn't have money. You know the Gemara. Oh, were you poorer than Hillel? So what everybody knows, what's the story of Hillel? Hillel was so poor, they were charged to go in to the Beit Midrash. By the way, after that story, they stopped charging. They charged a little bit to go in the Beit Midrash. He didn't have it. He was so poor, he didn't have it. Imagine, he didn't have it. So what would you do? What would you do? Imagine right now, what would you do? Oh, I'm patur from Torah. Khalas, I'm done, I'm patur from Torah. What does Hillel do? He goes where? Exactly. He figures out a way. You tell me, how is Hillel even getting to the roof? Imagine, right now the shul's locked, that you get into the roof. How do you get to the roof? Huh? Yeah, how do you get to the roof? And by the way, it was a freezing cold day. What would you do freezing cold day? And you know why it's freezing cold day? Because everybody knows the end of the story. But freezing cold day, you're outside, you say to yourself, come on. But what? He went up and he sat on the skylight. And he was listening in the nighttime. He was listening to the Divrei Torah in the freezing cold weather. And he heard it until the next day when they came in, the rabbis came in, and they saw, what's going on over there? There's no light. What happened? And they see a block of ice. What's going on? They go upstairs. Who do they see over here? There's a rabbi sitting over there in the ice. What's going on? They warm him up, everything like that. What happened? Oh, he didn't have money to go into the knis, so therefore he tells them I had to hear the Torah like this. What? We're making a decree, everybody's invited to the knis, nobody has to pay. And it says over there, the Gemara says, we're going to compare you to Hillel. How are you comparing me to Hillel? Hillel was Hillel. You know who Hillel as a Ken was? You know there was a Gemara that says over there that they came to Hillel and they made a bet, famous story, where they knocked on, the Gemara says, where the guy knocks on the door. And he says, oh, why do people have heads so flat? And why do people have fat feet? And why do this? And he waited exact time when Hillel went to shower. And then all of a sudden he knocked on the door again. And he knocked. So many idiotic questions. Different questions. And Hillel never got angry. And the guy said, I'm sad. I got angry. He got angry. What happened? He says, I made a bet with someone that you would get angry. I could get you angry. I couldn't get you angry. Couldn't get angry. He says, even if you would pay me, the says an exorbitant amount of money. Imagine, even if you pay me $1 million, I wouldn't even get angry once, even for $1 million. That's what we're talking about Hillel. You're going to compare me to Hillel? How? We're talking about Hillel. He didn't get angry. When's the last time you got angry? When's the last time you got angry? A guy cuts you off, you already get crazy. What's going on? He cut me off. What's going on? You have a guy in the red light, it turned green and he didn't pass, you get angry, you start hugging the guy. What happened? Okay, wait 1 second. No, with the blink, he does the horn, he doesn't do it softly like, go, You'll see, some of the boys here don't have their license. You'll see when you get the license, right? You know what I mean? You probably know it on your scooter sometimes, right? When your scooter, the guy's vlogging you, you're honking with the scooter, right? Do you do it or no? So now we're talking about Hillel as a Ken. Hillel as a Ken never got it. How are you comparing me to Hillel? Tell me, you could explain to me how you compare me to Hillel. Oh, you as poor Hillel? Talk about Hillel. You know what the answer, I believe, is? We want to see your will. The Ratzon. How did Hillel get to the level where he's going up on the roof to listen to Torah? Because his Ratzon was so great, his will was so great to learn, he said, nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to stop me. Why? Because his Ratzon was great. The Gemara is going to ask, how come your Ratzon was not like Hillel? Of course you're not going to become like Hillel. But how come your Ratzon, your willpower wasn't like Hillel? That you could, that you have the power to do. That you have the power, that your will could be very, 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 very strong. And you could move, who knows what. There was a guy in the shul one Wednesday night. He came over to me after, said, Rabbi, I'd like to tell you a story. This is a story he told me. Unfortunately, his father passed away. It was an accident that happened, and he told me firsthand the story. He was driving, it was black ice. His father was driving, the car flipped over. He told me the story, and he said, Rabbi, I myself was in a zone. My adrenaline, whatever you want to say, his will was so, he lifted up to see, to help see if his father was there to pull him out. How can you lift the car? You don't have the strength to it. Because you have the ratzon, you have the will, you have the adrenaline, you're not even thinking. He was able to lift it, whatever he could lift it. Whatever he could lift it. So therefore, Rabotai, I want to tell you something. In life, I want to really be very honest with you. There's a pasuk that says, we have, V'hadal lo yam'it. You know what that's going on? V'hadal lo yamit. You know what that's going on or no? What is it going on, Leo? What is it? Ma'aseh shekel. It says, ha'ashir lo yarbeh, v'hadal lo yamit. Everybody has to give ma'aseh shekel. Everybody has to give a shekel. The rich and the dal. It doesn't say the poor. It doesn't say ani. The ani doesn't say v'ha'ani lo yamit. It says v'hadal lo yamit. You know what the definition of a dal is? You know how poor a dal is? It didn't go to the ani, it didn't go to Evion. It went to the dal. Dal is the lowest of the poor of the poor of the poor of the poor of the poor. So the question is, how could the Torah mechayev, obligate a dal? He doesn't have money. V'hadal lo yamit, it says. He doesn't have money. What do you want from the guy? No, even he has to give. But if he doesn't have. Imagine you're going to collect for a fund, for an organization, for a Beit Midrash. Imagine you're collecting for a Beit Midrash. Are you going to go to a person that you know is on a list where they get every single organization helping them out? Now you go to them, oh, by the way, could you chip in? The guy doesn't have anything. The whole community is helping this guy, and now you're asking him for a donation. Would you ever go? You wouldn't go to that guy. But the Torah is telling you, when it comes to Ma'aseh Shekel, V'adal lo yamit, go to that guy and get his Ma'aseh Shekel. How? What do you want from the guy? Hara Moshe, you want to hear the answer? Let me tell you the answer. The answer is, once there is a commandment in the Torah to do it, that once we said it, that the dal lo yamit, harehu kemo havtacha. It's like a promise, a swear. Sheyeh hayechol lekula alma lekayem mitzvah. Ma'aseh shekel. Says, you're right, it's impossible. You're not going to go to the guy. He doesn't have money. But once the Torah actually says v'adol lo yamit, that means Hashem will give the siyata d'shmaya that person can do it. Doesn't have it. Torah says he can do it. Yeah, the pshat. Sometimes like a guy says, oh, it's too hard, I can't do it. It's not. Stop the game. Stop the games. If you really, really want, you can. Don't tell me you can't. I want to tell you how Ateret Torah started. You know Ateret Torah? I was in a parlor meeting once when Rabbi Yosef said the story over. Rabbi Yosef Palacci, the rabbi, the Rosh Hashiva, Rabbi Raful, I heard him firsthand. Him saying, the Rosh Hashiva saying the story. It was about 45 to 50 years ago, right? Yes, about 45 to 50 years ago. He said when he first started, I'm not going back then. He said it recently. You're right, what?
You have to clarify.
No, I just heard this recently, this past summer. So he got up and he says, I want to tell you how I started. And he says, really, technically, it was almost, really, in the community, we didn't have what we have today. It was almost impossible. Imagine going to somebody with shorts and a t-shirt and telling him, listen, I'm going to open up a school, you have TV, and he has TV. No, don't have no TV, I'm going to bring you into the school, your kids are going to be Talmidei Chachamim. Like, what? He started with 2 people, like trying to get people to go to the thing. So they asked him, what was going through your mind? What's going through your mind? How you even think? He said, very simple. It came because the Ponovitcher Rosh Hashiva. You ever hear of the Rabbi Yosef Kahneman? You ever hear of the Ponovitcher Rosh Hashiva? Let me tell you about the Ponovitcher Rosh Hashiva. Listen. They came after the war, the World War II. He went to Bnei Brak. And he's buying land. Land, a lot of land. They're looking at him. Rabbi, is everything okay? They thought maybe something after the war, something happened. I said, what happened? Nothing happened. I said, what are you doing? You're buying all this land. What are you doing? He says, I'm going to build the biggest yeshiva on this. What yeshiva? Who's alive? Have a few people. What the biggest yeshiva? Who's around, Rabbi? Who are you going to get? Imagine you go to a desert and you say, I'm going to build a yeshiva in the Sahara Desert, and you start buying acres and acres of land over there, and you start buying buildings. What will people think of you? It's a wild thing. Yeah, they don't like. Well, are you kidding me? Imagine you saw a rabbi right now. You go over there, you see him. He goes to wherever he's going to. He's in the desert, and boom, he starts buying the desert. He starts building buildings. Rabbi, what are you doing? I'm opening up the biggest yeshiva in the world. What would you think about the rabbi? What do you think about the rabbi? They were telling him, Rabbi, is everything okay? Yani, is everything okay? Who are you building this yeshiva for? And he's collecting money for the yeshiva. Which yeshiva? We have the boys? I'm going to build it. Why? How? I'll tell you what the Navardik wrote, Sami Navardik said. And I'd like to quote for you exactly what his words are, really. Hopefully these are the exact words. But the Sami Navardik says, don't ever say, I can or can't. If it's I'm obligated, then I'll have the ability to do it. If I am hayav to do it, I'll have the ability to do it. He says, I'm obligated. There's no yeshiva here. I have an obligation to open up a yeshiva for yeshiva boys to come and learn. I'm obligated. It's not can or cannot. Am I obligated? Then I will. That's it. That's it. That's it. Simple. Is it simple? Simple. The guy said, I have no head, I can't learn, I can't this, I can't. You were born to learn. You know the Sefer Tanit, we have it here, the Sefer Tanit. You know the Sefer Tanit? It's over here, right? We have it with us over here. You know the famous story with the fishermen? You know the famous story. Come on. They go to the guy, Eliyahu, he's walking by. The famous story goes, the Chacham sees a guy, says, how come you don't learn Torah? Oh, I don't have the ability to learn. Oh, what do? I'm a fisherman. Oh, how do you do it? I take a net, I put it together, I do this, I do that, and I catch the fish. So he tells him, for that, they gave you the chokhmah to know how to fish. But for Torah, that's your whole life is Torah. You don't have the ability to learn? They got him. Don't tell me you don't have the ability. Why? Because for fishing, to stay surviving alive, all of a sudden you know how to fish. How do you know how to fish? The answer is, if you don't eat, you're dead. So all of a sudden you know how to find food. How do you know how to find food? Because the will of living is so great that you'll be able to figure out how to live. So if your will was so great and you know that your life is Torah, Mitzvot, Hashem, so therefore you have the will to do it. What does that mean? Next door to me, there was a house for sale for a while. Next door to me, right? You go down my block and you could see this house, right where I live, right next door. And you'll see exactly after the story, you'll see what I'm talking about. Nobody wanted to buy it. And I'm thinking, how come nobody wants to buy this house? You know the story, Jack? You know the story? Nobody was buying, nobody's buying it. So now nobody's buying it. Something's wrong with the house, something's wrong. I'm thinking, presenting a house. I find out from everybody, they go to see it. First thing as they're looking, great house. Where's the driveway? Oh, there's no driveway. Oh, there's no driveway? Not for me. One of my good friends bought the house right next door to me. And everybody at the time were telling me, I can't believe he bought it. No driveway. He's going to go to Nejnun. He's going to go crazy. There's no driveway. Oh, no driveway. What happens? He built the house. He did everything. And he cut the beginning of the actual house. He cut the beginning of the actual house a few feet, knocked it out, put a porch instead, and he puts his car, if you see it now, puts his car underneath. It was such a thing that nobody could even envision. I said, how'd you envision it? He said, because I wanted to live on this block so badly that I figured it out. Yeah! Figure it out! The guy said, I can't wake up in the morning, my back, my head, shahari, this, that, I can't learn 3 hours. Figure it out! You can do everything else, but you can't figure it out. I hate, they tell me, I have ADD, ADHD. When you're in school, you can't sit down for more than 5 seconds. What do? They label you. Oh, this guy has ADD. You know what I'm talking about or no? You don't have it. You're the valedictorian. But anybody know? Anybody know? You know what I'm talking about or no? You know what I'm talking about? Hey, he's the perfect example. He admits it. Okay, right? You have ADD, ADHD. The guy's walking up, walking down. He can't sit more than 5 seconds. Correct? Yes or no? Yes or no? I know a lot of my friends, that's what he was. We were sitting in class, the guy, I don't know, he gets up, he's walking out, what happened? Sit down, man, sit down, what's going on? I can't sit down, you just don't know what it is. It's ADD, ADHD. But then you see the guy, all of a sudden he goes into a business workforce, and he has a quota to make, and he has to make it. You see him fully focused. Boom, what happened? What happened? They take the money, the guy says, listen, this is all my cash money, I want you to cash. Oh, he sees he's sitting down on a table, piles of cash. Count each 100. 100, 200, 300. He could sit there for an hour, half hour, 30 minutes straight without distracting. 1, 2, 3, 4. The guy on a video game, the guy could sit for 50 hours on the thing. Hello, do you know it's already time to go to bed? The guy he pulled an all-nighter. What happened? How'd you put an all-nighter? He pulled the all-night. How do you pull the all-night? What happened? Huh?
That was his distraction to avoid
That's What's the answer? The answer is, Rabotai, when a person has a ratzon for something, then you're able to do it. Get your ratzon very strong. Get your ratzon to the level where a person, yes, I can do it. A lady wants to be tzniut. Deep down, she wants to be. So it might be hard, it might be not. But let the willpower overcome it. Your will should be stronger than anything else, any other distraction. Oh, what this person's going to say, and what that person's going to say, and what he's going to say, and what she's going to say, what my mother-in-law's going to say, what my sister-in-law's going to say. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. But if your willpower says, what is Hashem going to say? Oh, my will to make my Creator happy is greater than everybody else. Okay? Now we have exactly what we're talking about over here. Now we have exactly what we're talking about over here. And therefore, Rabotai, we have to understand this lesson. There's more we could say. There's really a lot more that we could say. I have a few more things that we could say, but at the end of the day, that's the lesson. The inyan is one thing. How did they build the Mishkan? How? They didn't go to school. They didn't have school. You know, a lot of people in this country, they came with zero. You do the signature, they don't know how to sign. A check, they don't know how to sign. I'm serious. A check, they don't know how to sign. And some of them are wealthier than who knows what. But you don't know how to sign a check. He didn't go to school. He came in, half the language doesn't understand. He speaks half English, half not. And yet, he signs like that. How? The will for him to make it was so great. That's it. That's it. It blocked everything out. Your will has to be so strong. And when it's like that, you will see. You'll have kochot. You'll realize that you have strengths that you never even believed you had. And therefore, don't ever give up on your dreams. Don't ever give up. Don't ever say, I can't. No. You know, one time I had a dream of something. I really wanted this accomplishment. And I had a certain amount of daf Gemara that I wanted to do a day. That's my dream was. This amount of daf Gemara. I'll tell you quietly what it was. I'm not going to say exactly what I wanted to do this amount. And then I was like, wait, it's impossible for me to do that. I was like, no, don't say it's impossible. It's possible. I'm going to try. I'm going to strive. No. Because Rabotai, when you have it at son, when you have a will, you will see strengths that you never believed. And that's what the Ramban is teaching us. The Ramban says, how do they know how to build? How do they know how to build the Mishkan? Tell me, how do they know? One answer. You know what the answer is? The answer is this pasuk. Vayikra Moshe, how do you know? It says, Kol asher nesa'ol libo. If you have a will, you have an isiyut lev, you have vigba libo to Hashem, then you'll be able to accomplish everything. Because you have it in you, you have strength in you. Don't ever give up short on your life. Life is too precious, time is too precious. You live once, and you got to make the best out of it. And therefore, have your ratzon, have your dreams, and make it happen. Be gedolim, be tzaddikim, be tzadkaniyot. Raise families of chachamim, raise families of tzadkaniyot. And you could do it. When your will is greater than anything else, you'll see things that you can't even believe was possible to accomplish, and you will accomplish it. Now, I want to just tell you. Now, how do you get the will? So very good. We discussed tonight. Yeah. When you have a will, you're able to accomplish great things. So how do you have the will to serve Hashem, to do torah, to do mitzvot? Two ways. One way is you have a better life here. People who follow the ways of the Torah, they have a better life here. They have a shalom bayit. They have such a better life here that you can't even imagine. I know people, whatever it is, the second they get on the board of being Torah, mitzvot, maasim tovim, yirei shamayim, everything changes. They have just a good life. It's the best life. That's one. Two is the reward is tremendous. You take all the reward of this whole entire world. It doesn't equal up to one sniff of the outside waiting room of Gan Eden. And therefore, if you know what Torah, what the greatness of Torah is, and mitzvot and maasim tovim is, you'll run after it like it's $1 billion, because more than that. It's more than that. So when your will is stronger than anything else, how is your will going to be so strong? Because the gain of what you're going to gain in Gan Eden after 120 is great. So you have this world and you get the next world. Asher, like it says, Asher praiseworthy you in this world, and you can be great at in the real world.